So we're about to start the next quilt, and this is the block we're starting with. As I shared with you last week, we're gonna start with this block. I need you to make me, and I'm gonna start with the border of this fabric. I want to continue the African theme here, and this is authentic
wax fabric. Let's
wax
look up
fabric.
the name of it also.
And Lori's going to tell you about this fabric.
So this fabric comes from Uganda, and I was up in Gulu, Uganda, working with the Sisters of St. Joseph up there. They do a lot of work, and we had gone to the local market to buy some fabric. I had a skirt made out of some of the wax fabric, and then we had bought some extra to bring back with us. And so that's where this comes from. But circles are also often representative in wax fabric of a well, coming to the well, gathering around the well. So you kind of have that to a certain extent in here. And then you've got ones inside it as well.
And so this will be our first layer of the quilt.
Okay.
All right. It's pretty. You have to look at. There's a specific name for the wax fabrics. I can't remember what they're called. But there's a name for them, and they came from originally they came from the Netherlands, and when the Dutch came and colonized, they brought the fabric, and then it became more part of the culture of
Gotcha.
countries. And they had the prints and things like that. The waxing of it came from that.
Gotcha.
Colonizers. It's a batik.
I
It's a batik fabric. So that batiks are wax. Again, they're wax made, and then you put the wax on, and then you take.
Did some come from Ghana?
That's possible, but I don't remember.
Seems like
She
that's what
found
she
it
said.
at a
Yeah,
quilt
I think
at
that's
the
what she
quilt
was
show.
telling
There was
Right.
a fabric seller who specifically did the African fabric and that style, and that's where she got it.
Seems like that's what she said.
Now, that
No.
right there, that dark green, that's
Uh-huh.
what is that?
So this shape,
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
Africa.
Yeah,
that's
that's what I'm
what-
going
yes.
to talk about.
Yes.
Yeah.
So her face is part of the shape of the
Yeah.
country.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yes.
those are common. Yep.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
pretty. So is that
That's
two
it.
pieces of fabric? Is that a back piece?
This is all one.
Oh, okay.
So there's your seams, and it's dyed. So
Now is
you can tell that they did the dark. You would do the darker ones first, but and then they added this part of the green. I would say.
I'd like to have that just for a while hanging.
now is that telling a story of something? Because
What do you perceive when you look at it?
see, I see a baby.
You do.
I see a baby,
Mhm.
and I see like I don't know. It's like she's, I don't know. She's got her own. There's definitely a story there.
Well, they carry their babies and their water,
Yeah.
and there's no strollers.
What's in her
So
other
it's
hand?
Yes.
What's
yeah.
in it? What's in that?
Yes.
What's that?
This could be perfume. It could
Mhm.
be a water jug. Like I was just saying this, that it was amazing to see women walk in Uganda and carry like this giant thing of water on their head. They're not even holding it oftentimes with their hands. They're just
Yeah.
walking, and you're like,
Because that, I don't know. That it's like she's like, to me, it's like she's going to a celebration or
yeah, she could be.
you know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
she's going to something because she's got all kinds of
Yeah, she's dressed up.
yeah.
Yeah, like she's got
dressed up.
earrings, and she's got a dress.
Yeah, like she's
But yeah, it does look like she. And even this could be part of the dress, but not like the dress, but
Yeah,
like it could be
sleeves.
paint. That's part of
Sleeves.
the
I think it's
Part of
more
her
like a
outfit.
tattoo type.
that could be too. Yeah.
Or tribal markings,
Mhm.
or ceremonial
Yeah.
Could be, yeah. But the water women that we worked with there, so women who were receiving like water filters, we worked in some of the villages, and they all come with their children, and whoever's the littlest one is the one they've got strapped onto the back.
Yeah.
But that's interesting because each one of us can look at that
And see something.
and see a different story.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, how big do you see us making? I mean, what?
I said last week, this one's not gonna be as big as the other.
Right.
So, I'm not gonna get happy with the borders and the blocks. But this, I want a border that's gonna be just big enough to show the circles.
Mhm.
This right here, this
Okay.
part. So the whole center is gonna pop. But I've got other colors. I just want to make on the outside of this, and I have to kind of lay it out and see what this is gonna look like with some other, like the bright colors that we talked about last week.
Mhm.
The red, the black, the orange, and
Yeah.
the yellow, gold looking color. I'm trying to find something similar to this gold actually.
Mhm.
I think I pulled something out.
There
a while
is
ago.
there
Yeah.
is one that
And so, and just go from there. But I want the blocks are going to be cut like these, the angled ones.
so a half square triangle.
Yes.
Mhm.
So, and I have, excuse me, this I want to throw in those blocks. The onion.
Oh, okay.
Put this in with the color blocks. So this will be, you would see half of this with a color to go all the way around that way, like that. And then put a final border. Final, capital letters, border.
Now, will
Hey,
the
Miss
final
Left-Handed.
border be that same piece or different? Will we have enough?
Probably, it's not gonna be a wide border.
Oh, okay.
So, because I want to try to save some for the back.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Of the same
Of
the
the-
wax.
Yeah.
The wax fabric.
So that's kind of gives you an idea of what it'll look like.
Right.
So.
Hello, my name is Willis Jones, and I've got a story to tell about this quilt. This bear quilt was made by my mother. And I had an encounter with a bear at my house, and I told my mother about it, and it inspired her to make this quilt for me, bear quilt. So the story is, one morning I got up and put some trash and garbage in the back of my pickup truck, and I took it down and threw it in the dumpster and brought my truck back and parked it. And a few hours later, I picked up my nephew and we drove to town. And while we was at town, I got a phone call from my mother-in-law saying that a bear was at my house in the back of my pickup truck. Evidently, the bear was sniffing around where I had the garbage. Well, I immediately came home, and as I approached my home, coming up the driveway, there sat the bear underneath the apple tree. And so we passed the bear and went on up to my house, and we started to get out of my truck, and the bear started coming our direction. And so we hopped back in the truck, and the bear went on the back side of the house, and we made a run to my house and got in the house, and I opened up the curtains and seen the bear going by my house at the back side. So I run upstairs and get my handgun, and about that time the bear had already left. So I knew the bear was going further up where my cousins and other family lived on the road above me. So I hop in my truck and kind of go up there to warn them. And evidently the bear beat me up there because it got in my aunt's garbage. So, and then I looked, and there it was going up an embankment up to my cousin's house. So I had my pistol with me, and it never dawned on me that you didn't supposed to shoot at a bear. But I shot at that bear. And when I shot at that bear, the sound of that gun just exploded in my ears, and my ears started ringing. Of course, I missed the bear. I'm glad I did, because I would have got in trouble. So I get my cousin and that lived nearby, and we went up there to my cousin's house where the bear went around, and we went back there and behind his house and peeked behind his house, and there was the bear. And so we run back out, and we call the wildlife officers. So 20 minutes later, the wildlife officer comes, and they get their guns out and put the rubber bullets in, and they say, where is it at? And we say, it's behind that house. So they go back there, and the bear's already gone. So we go back there and start walking around and looking around, and I said, there was a big pile of something there. Evidently the bear had left. I didn't know what it was at the time. There's a big pile there, and I looked at it and I said, look, what's that right there? And they said, that's bear poop. And I said, it is. I said, looks like somebody stepped in it. And then I looked at my shoe, and I was the one that stepped in it. So the bear left me a little treat, and I had to wash my shoes off, but the bear got away, and the bear was last seen on the other side of the mountain, and so that was the story that inspired my mother to make this blanket. And so I'm going to cherish this blanket as long as I can, and cause I know it's the only one like it. So it was a treat for me to tell this story. So I hope everybody enjoys it.
Right block. This one. Uh-oh. Need to find the block. Did I stick it in my tote over there? Wait. It's a 10 by 10, I think. Or 12
10 by 10?
Might be 12 by 12. Let's see.
The 12 by 12?
11 by 11. Yeah, 11 by 11. So let me find it. Do I have one of these in there? I don't think I do. I think I left it out so they could use it. But it might be on another table. Hey, Lori.
Yeah.
Is there an 11 by 11 over there?
You mean you need a bigger block?
Uh-huh.
This could be an 18-inch and this could be a 12.5, right?
Because the one I used when I cut these, 11.
It's an 11.5-inch block. Or 11-inch.
Yeah, 11.
It's 11, so it'll finish 10.5 for you.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not quite 11. It's not 11 this way. It's 11 this way. Were you doing? Because this is a rec. This is a. Okay. Let's do one. Because this is 11 by 10.5.
Okay.
So you're wanting a square block.
Yes.
Okay. So
And
that.
we're just gonna cut
Yeah. There's
Like I
a
did.
bigger one somewhere.
like I did these.
Yeah, you're doing half square.
Yeah.
So typically what you would do is you would take 2 squares of the same size and you would they would be square. So say we're gonna do a 10.5-inch square and you would do 10.5,
Mm-hmm.
2 10.5 inch squares, and you would either sew them together like this, and you make 4, or you sew them from here to here. So you do the whole square, and you get the triangle when you sew on a 1/4 inch on either side of the center, and you cut the center, and then when you make your block, then you iron it open, and you get a half square triangle.
Gotcha.
This is us. Let me ask Sandy, do you know what size you need or want?
Well,
Okay.
I wanted 10 by 10.
Okay. So this is going to be big enough.
As long as it's not going to be too overpowering
No, I think it'll
for
be okay.
the center part.
Let's see where this one is going to end up. I was like,
I haven't watched enough Saturday morning sewing shows.
Mama watches every
all right.
Saturday.
So this is 10 and a half. And see, when you do it this way, you're going to lose a seam this
Right.
way as well as this way
Mm-hmm.
and this way. So let me ask Sandy for a second.
Okay.
You want 10 and a half inch?
Now, Pam watched me cut that last week.
Now, when you are cutting, like when you are cutting, this won't cut.
This won't cut. Right.
Okay, so this
And
won't cut.
you've got this little tool here,
Okay.
rotor tool, and it cuts. This is the blade that cuts.
Okay.
And with all these lines, you can't go wrong. If you line your fabric up
Okay.
along these lines, like this, like even if I moved it up here, if I put it on straight lines, you can't go wrong.
Okay.
And you just hold it, and you just roll it and cut. But you would use one of these. You would put this on the line, like that, and you would just cut down the line. So you can't go wrong if you're doing it right. I'm doing old school method. I would have had to probably trim a little bit on the sides.
And buy
So
my
how would
sewing
you lay,
machine.
like, one of those out? Would you lay that out and cut this one of these? You can, but normally you would take and cut what you need
Piece.
off.
Oh, okay. Piece
Yeah,
by piece. So
yeah.
so.
Cut what you're gonna use off.
All right.
See that back there talking about me?
Like a dog.
I was not talking like a dog at all, was I?
No.
Are all of these cut in half?
No,
Oh, good. I thought they were.
just a few. Like I think I did one.
But
so-
she's
Oh, okay.
got them cut.
She's got them cut as squares, but
Yeah.
she doesn't have them cut in half.
Right.
That's what I'm asking.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll leave that one square. Perfect.
But it'll be the same thing.
No, because you still got her other squares
she-
are squares,
Yeah.
Yeah,
but they're not cut.
They're cut the size.
No, they're bigger than 10 and a half, right? Your squares are.
Yeah, but she's still got to sew them to something.
Right, but if she sews,
These are not going to be halves.
Yeah, they are going to be halves.
Okay. If she sews, it's going to be the same thing. Because if she sews, well,
If she sews corner to corner,
corner to corner,
with a 1/4 inch from the center.
I see what you're saying.
you're still losing a half.
Well, it doesn't have to be a 10 and a half. She just wants it about that, right? 10-inch square.
Now, see, this one is 11.
It's 11. Yeah, this one's square 11.
Yeah.
And is that one square?
Same.
Same. So what you would do,
Let's put them face to face.
To
yeah,
face.
yep,
Mhm.
right sides together,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Stitch corner to corner.
Draw a line.
and you're gonna draw a line, and we've
Okay.
got
Corner
we've got
to
a
corner.
tool that you can put
yeah.
it there, and then you draw a line on each side of it,
Mhm.
and then you're gonna
You-
sew
you
on
sew
those
a
two
quarter of an
outside
inch
Okay,
on
gotcha.
each side,
and then you cut in half,
Oh,
and you
and you make your
gotcha.
block.
Yeah, gotcha. Two at a
rather
time.
than cutting, just
Yeah.
making one
Yep.
at a time.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
See, if you
I thought
sew
her whole
here-
pile was cut.
Okay.
Oh gosh. Oh no.
But these are 11, so that works
Yep.
good.
Yep.
These, were they 11?
They're
They were the same, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that should work if you have a good 1/4 inch
Uh-huh.
seam. If you don't have over a quarter,
Yeah.
but we just don't want to make this one smaller. Like with a
Maybe I
you'd have
can
to
use
do
that
this
somewhere
fancy.
else in
Yeah.
the quilt.
Oh yeah, you could.
Or
you could
even
still cut
I
a
can make
smaller block.
pillows.
Yeah. You can
It makes
still
sense.
sew these together,
Yeah.
but in the sense of making your blocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I can probably use them somewhere else in the quilt.
Yeah.
Love them colors. They're so pretty.
Mm-hmm. They're gonna be really pretty and bright. This was better. This one don't need pressing.
So rather than try to use a big ruler, here's
Mhm.
a ruler.
Gotcha.
Just go from corner.
Corner to corner.
Hmm.
See that? It's got the corners.
And even if it doesn't come all the way, you know where your point is.
Yeah.
And just draw on each side. Really, you'll have to
Gotcha.
draw down the middle. If you use
Mhm.
this, draw on each side, and you'll
Mhm.
sew right on that line
Right. Gotcha.
on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
And then when
Then
you
cut
cut it, then
in
you've got
between
two
Gotcha.
squares.
So do we use like the
You can use any kind
Tracer
of marker
pen
because
or
it don't matter because you're going to be
the
cutting
washable?
it. Doesn't matter. No, use a pencil,
Okay.
a pen,
Okay,
whatever
gotcha,
you want to use.
gotcha.
It'll be fine.
So I have a question. So why would you do that?
Both sides, right?
Why would I do it like
Oh,
this?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, because if you did it the other way, you would be, Okay.
Your block.
say, if you sew down the middle, which is where you would sew right corner to corner,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
but you've got a 1/4-inch seam.
Okay.
See, if you sew here, then you got to come over here to cut. You can't cut
Mhm.
on your line.
Otherwise, you cut your
You're cutting it
stitching.
apart.
Mhm.
Got you.
So this will be your seam if you were doing it that way. And then when you cut over here, see, you're taking part of this half
Yeah.
off
Got
because it's not in the center.
you. Okay.
But if you do it like this and make your square a little bigger,
And then you just sew right on those two lines that are on
Yeah.
the side,
And
and,
you
then you
sew on
cut
this
in
side.
between.
this is where your seam will be. So when you cut here, that gives you room so it won't ravel out. So
Mhm.
you'll cut right
Cut
down
right
through
down
the
through.
Cut
middle.
right down the center.
You got
And
two.
then you'll have one that
Yeah.
goes this direction.
One that goes the other.
Mhm.
And you get 2 blocks for the price
You
of
get 2
one.
blocks
Yeah.
instead
Let
of
me
one.
stitch it.
Yeah, go
Okay.
stitch it
Let me
and
stitch
show
it
'em.
so everybody will see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see.
That's fine.
Yeah, I need to remember how to do this machine. It's been a while. A few months. Scissors.
Because if you cut, if you sew
All
Okay.
sew, you get that straight off the corner. Then you use part of this square.
I need to get one of these machines.
There's no pressure.
Cut it with a ruler.
You'll cut it with the
The ruler will be fine.
She was cutting. She was making a block. And she had them all hand cut when she came in the next time. I'm like, better than us.
That's it. Now, we've got 2 squares.
Iron them open and then you got your 2 blocks.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Awesome.
And if you want to ever do this trick, you can do. No, it's this.
Yep.
And sew this direction, and then when you open it, you'll
You got
have
Quarter
Yeah.
squares.
you'll have 4
Mm-hmm.
squares.
Gotcha.
But there's
Gotcha.
your 2.
You know, it's something exciting and amazing. We had our first workshop last week, and it's amazing to see the inspiration that came out of that workshop. And Susie here has gotten a vision of a quilt that she wants to make, and I'm going to just go ahead and let her share the vision that she has. And so go ahead and just tell us about what you saw when you were in last week's workshop.
From Kay read us things about colors and African American stuff. And so immediately this vision came to my mind, and it was about chains, but the chains were broke and all the colors came to place. And the vision was like to have each piece like a puzzle piece and to have life coming together. But when it came together, each color represented something of the African American color scheme that they used to represent different things. And I thought about it, and it kind of like come together. This is just a rough draft of it. But I just wanted to present freedom and what the colors meant for people could understand it. And it was about knowing who you are. And so with this came a poem when I was like writing, looking at everything that I was doing. So my poem goes like this. It is called Know Me. Know me by the colors you see. Know me, I'm African American, a part of humanity. Know the air that I breathe. Know the breath that I take when I wake. Know me I no longer wear a frown, but a crown. Know me inside and out. Know me without a doubt. Know me when I was a slave. Yes, I know the trade. Know me when it rains such pain, but now know my fame. Know me when I reasoned for the season. Know me. Know me when all hope was gone. Know me when I was all alone. Know me when time stood still. Know me when I could heal. Know me, I'm a part of humanity. Know me for my destiny. Know me from long ago. Know me because I wear an afro. Know me when you look at men, women, boys, and girls like me from my family tree. Know me in America in 1619. Know me when I was forced into slavery because they had a trade. It made me afraid. But know me when I heard the words of a voice so clear. Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we're free at last. Know me.
And that just amazing. You're so creative, and that's amazing. From last week's workshop, that creativity just spilled out of you. And you have birthed this vision, so we're excited to see how it develops.
Yes, ma'am, I am too.